Sit out back here by the avocado grove again this time. Hi, this is Joel Persinger, the gun guy. Thank you very much for watching my videos. I really do appreciate it. And as you probably can already tell, I have a Mosin Nagant 9130 in my hands. Let's make sure it's unloaded. It is. It's pretty easy to make sure these are unloaded because you just got to look in one spot. These are terrific rifles. If you don't own one, you probably ought to get one. They were super cheap to buy. Nobody likes that word cheap, but let's face it, they were. They were really dirt cheap to buy there for a long time. That's when I bought this one for darn near next to nothing. They were $100 rifles pretty much. And this is the 9130. There are several different models of these. You've seen probably 8 bazillion YouTube videos on these things. And if you haven't, all you gotta do is go on YouTube and type Mosin Nagant 9130 and you'll find that everybody and their grandmother has taken these out and shot them for you. So I'm gonna go, well, why should the gun guy be different? I'll take this one out and shoot it for you. But before we do, let me just talk to you a little bit about the reason why I really like these rifles. They are, in fact, I've written a whole article about them, which I'll put a link to for you so that you can go read it, in my opinion about these rifles. They are terrific rifles. Now, that's if you look at them for what they are. I mean, these rifles were meant to be assigned to conscripts that had next to no training. If you've ever watched the movie Enemy at the Gate, there's a great scene where they're handing these to guys in Stalingrad off a truck, and one guy gets a rifle and a little bit of ammo, and the next guy just gets ammo. And the instructions are, the man with the rifle shoots. When the man with the rifle gets killed, pick up the rifle and shoot. That was the extension of their training. And given that much training, if you've shot anything, you can shoot these. They are ridiculously simple. Now, you know, they aren't what they aren't. They're not extremely accurate, you know, nail drivers. They're not light, handy little hunting rifles. They're not easily scoped. They're not ideal for self-defense because they're really, really long, as you can see. I mean, these things are incredibly long, so they're not good for home defense. You crank it off inside your house, you're going to be deaf for about 6 months, I would think. They're really loud. They're not perfect for, you know, without rule of law, as people always type. I don't know that I'm all that prepared for that either, to be honest with you. But, you know, if the world goes to pot, this isn't the best rifle in the world to have. It only holds 5 rounds. It's bolt action. The bolt action on it is really rough. They're not very smooth, as you'll be able to see when I shoot it. I'm just foretelling that now. So they're not, you know, they're not ideal hunting rifles. They're not ideal home defense rifles. They're not ideal civil unrest rifles. They're not ideal for anything other than what they were built to do, which was to be a dirt simple rifle you could hand to somebody with 5 minutes instruction and have them be able to fight with it. And for that, they're amazing. Now here's what they are. They're incredibly reliable. They are almost indestructible. They are heavy as could be, but I mean, they're powerful as well. I mean, these things will kill anything that walks in North America. I mean, they're incredibly powerful, and they're very, very cheap to buy, and they'll always go bang. Now, you got to be careful with corrosive ammo, and you got to make sure you clean them properly so it doesn't rot your barrel out. But boy, if you take a modicum, just a little bit of care of it, and put good ammo in it, the darn thing will run for generations and never stop. That's what I like about them. You know, if you want a better rifle, save up and get one, but a lot of folks don't have the money for that. So for a good solid rifle that is not perfect for most things we do with it, but truthfully it's pretty darn good for most things we do with it. You can hunt medium-sized game with it. You can hunt pigs, you can hunt deer, you can hunt just about anything. You can hunt pretty good-sized game in North America with it. It'll work great for that. I mean, you're not going to make 600-yard shots with it or something, but I've never made a shot that long hunting anything. So, you know, for reasonable distances, very powerful, very positive. A little heavy, but sure, you can cart it around. Can you defend yourself with it? I don't know anybody who wants to be on the business end of this thing. I certainly don't. You know, could you use it for you know, emergency purposes for survival? Sure. I mean, it's useful for just about anything. I think if you combine this with a good self-defense handgun, you know, I did a review on the high point pistols. They're pretty good little pistols. Buy a high point pistol, just if it gives you any trouble, send it back to them, have them fix it so it runs right and runs good. Make a little, you know, adjustment here or there to make sure it runs reliably, and get yourself one of these and you're ahead of most folks, quite honestly, and you haven't spent a whole lot of dough. Anyway, that's my opinion about the Mosin Nagants in every form. I tend to like the 9130s better than the others just because they seem to be a little bit more accurate with a longer barrel. And you know, having the shorter ones are kind of cool, but there's a flame that comes out about 6 feet out the front of it, and that's just powder that gets burned that's not accomplishing anything. So I tend to like the long ones, but that's just me. Anyway, I'm going to go out on the rifle range and shoot it for you on the indoor range. You'll see the flame come out of the end probably, and we'll poke some holes in it. They do beat you up. I mean, they kick a little bit. It's kind of like shooting a 12 gauge. But you'll see, I'm going to put 20 or 30 or 50 rounds through it for you, and it doesn't beat me up too bad. I'm a pretty good sized guy, but let's take it out and shoot it. When we get done, I'll come back and show it to you again. And then if you have any comments about them, if you own one or whatever, hey, leave me a comment. Let me know. Anyway, I'm going to head out to the P2K range. Great place to shoot. My favorite range. It's where I teach. Let's go on out there and get on the indoor range, and we'll shoot the 9130. These things are a tremendous lot of fun to shoot. I really enjoy shooting these rifles. They are powerful, they're very effective, they're pretty darned accurate. The action, as you can see from the video, is a little stiff. You know, sometimes doesn't necessarily want to cycle quite as easily as I'd like it to. I have other rifles that cycle so much better and so much easier, but they also cost a ton of money. I mean, you're talking about the Russian equivalent to a 30-06 for $100 or whatever they're selling for now. I don't know, they're more than that now, I'm sure. But they're still pretty inexpensive, and they're just solid as a rock. So if you don't have one, for fun at least, you might grab one somewhere, or if you probably got 4 or 5 of them, then what the heck, you get the different versions and have some fun with them. The ammunition's cheap, hits like a train, pretty accurate, always goes bang, can't hardly break it with a hammer. That works for me. That's the Mosin Nagant, in this case, the 9130. Now, it just so happens I can get my hands on some other examples of these things, some a little bit more rare than others, and so I'll do some other videos on them later on. Thank you very much for watching my videos. I really, really appreciate it. But I will clarify I didn't do it before. It is unloaded, by the way. But thank you very much for watching. Please continue to do so. Our channel is growing like crazy. We just hit the 2,500 subscriber mark. That may not sound like much when you're looking at YouTube channels that have 1 million subscribers, but you got to start somewhere. And we only started in May of last year, so it's been less than a year, and we're already at 2,500 subscribers and about 1,700 to 1,800 views per day. So that's really awesome for us. I'm very, very grateful. Please like, subscribe. The subscribe thing is over here, I think. If you get a chance, I'd really appreciate it if you do that. And please come visit us at the P2K range. Look for me. I'd love to shoot with you if you happen to be out there. P2K range is a great range to shoot. It's where I teach, and it is an awesome place. So feel free to come on out. They're open 7 days a week. And if you would, please join the National Rifle Association. If you're not already a member of the NRA and you haven't noticed that our gun rights are under attack, now we've just had a recent event with the death of wonderful Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia. That leaves us even in more trouble if the current president is able to appoint another judge. So please, if you haven't already, join the National Rifle Association. They're doing everything they can to affect these things, doing everything they can to fight for your rights and mine, and they need your help. I'm going to put a link right here so that you can click on it. It'll take you to a spot on our website where you can join and save some money. It's always nice to save money, coupon or whatever, and you can join the NRA for a year for less than the cost of 1 box of ammo. Well, maybe except for the box or 2 of ammo that I bought for this thing. That's pretty cheap. Anyway, thank you again for watching. I really appreciate the fact that you do. Please have a wonderful week and stay safe.